There are 3 generations of Barretos sitting around this table. They're reminiscing in the home where they grew up, the house built by a trailblazer they know as Dad. Hector Barreto Sr. passed in 2004, and his family holds his memory close to their hearts.
This is just the one that he used to wear a lot, so we remember it with him, it's a special memento. It just makes me remember him, and how he looked when he was wearing the hat, and just, that was his style.
His story epitomizes the American dream. Hector Barreto Sr. immigrated from Guadalajara, Mexico to Missouri.
My father started from very humble beginnings. He used to tell me that he picked potatoes in rural Missouri for 50 cents an hour. I remember he was the janitor at the Catholic school that I would eventually go to. And I remember telling my father, I'd say, Dad, you're a janitor. And my father would say, no, I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I'd say, but Dad, you don't have a business. You're a janitor. He'd say, no. That's just what I have to do now. Yeah, but I am a business owner and I will have my business.
And he did become a business owner. Barreto opened a restaurant where his wife was the chef, he worked the register, and all 5 of his children worked as servers. It was truly a family business and one that flourished.
One restaurant led to 2. 2 led to 3. The restaurants were, one of them was on Southwest Boulevard, was called Casablanca, which was kind of prophetic because of some of the things that my dad would end up doing.
Prophetic because Barreto went from having a restaurant named Casablanca or White House to actually spending time with some of the nation's presidents in the White House in Washington, D.C. Barreto was a leader and a visionary. He knew the Hispanic community would one day change the face of America.
My dad knew that we were going to grow, and part of what he was going to do or try to do, and part of what we have to do, is make sure that those next generations have all the tools that they need to succeed.
One of those tools, a Hispanic Chamber of Commerce.
My father said, well, I want to belong to the Chamber of Commerce for Hispanic businesses, and somebody said to him, there isn't one, and my dad said, well, that's not possible, we need to start one.
And so they did. In 1977, Barreto, along with other Hispanic business leaders, founded the Kansas City Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. But his vision was bigger than Kansas City.
Later on, he said, I want to belong to the National Chamber, the organization that represents the national interest. And they said, well, that doesn't exist either. And my dad said, well, of course, that's not possible. We'll need to start one. And he organized other leaders from around the country, and they started one.
His work with the chamber would eventually lead Barreto into the world of politics. And everywhere Barreto went, his family was at his side.
One of the times that we went to the White House, Vice President Bush at that time, it was Reagan, and he came out and said, hi Hector, how are you? And oh, we were impressed that the Vice President knew he was, and he turned to me and he said, could any of your other boyfriends about me?
Dad was the man of the hour, and yet he was totally accessible to us.
He used to give these big bear hugs. That's what I do with my daughter. I give her, and I say, but this is, how the way Grandpa used to hug me.
These are memories his children cherish. It's a personal view into the life of a man who dreamed big, not only for himself, but for his community. And it's a legacy his children say they plan to continue.
Well, my father was humble. He accomplished a lot of things in his life, but he always said to all of us, I'm just a very small part in this chain, and I expect you all to continue the work that we've started, and we try to do that. And we don't forget where we come from, and I think that's one of the things that strengthens us and fuels us.